Well, hi there, food friends. It's Kevin.
Hi Kevin, I'm Ralph. I'm behind the camera.
And Ralph and I are still at the fabulous Rambler Ranch in Elizabeth, Colorado. And today we are spending time in the 60s house, as they call it here on the ranch. And what can we say, Ralph? How cool is this house?
Very.
And
We'll do a full tour later.
yeah, we're gonna actually make something that we're gonna have after dinner tonight. We're gonna make a cake, and once we get it in the oven, we'll have Terry, the owner of the ranch, give us a tour. But one thing we can look at now, Ralph, a little closer, is the range that we're gonna be using. This is a flare. And I have shown this exact range because there's one at the Cavalcade that hasn't been put into service yet. But here at the Rambler Ranch, Terry's got this beautiful, I think it's a 64, flare, double oven. And we're going to be baking in this right oven, which is preheated right now. And of course, the flare, Frigidaire, made by General Motors. It's got these wonderful swing gull wing doors here that kind of swing up. And then it's got a smaller oven on the left.
Maybe John DeLorean had one of these when he was a kid.
Maybe it was their inspiration
yeah.
for the car.
So the one that you have at the Cavalcade is
identical.
Identical.
I mean, even the color of the base. Down here is the cooktop. 4 burners, pulled out, all in stainless steel. And then you have a wonderful storage cabinet for pots and pans and other things underneath. And so this is just a thrill to be able to get to use a flare here in the 60s house. And like I said, there's so much other things to see in this space, including these groovy Kelvinator steel cabinets. They're not originally orange, but boy, the orange is the perfect color for this mod 60s home, isn't it?
Matches the telephone.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to start by just setting the stage and sharing with our friends what we're going to be baking in today. And I said we were making a cake, and we're making a Mexican wedding cake, or at least that's what Mom always called it. And this was a cake that my mother made hundreds and hundreds of times for, you name it, birthdays, parties, gatherings of every kind. This was the cake that everybody wanted.
This was the cake that was always requested for every Petrosky family festivity.
Absolutely. And what's funny is it's one of the simplest cakes to make. So, you know, it's great and it's simple, so it's the perfect combination of things. So let me get the ingredients together and we'll come back and get this cake mixed up.
Sounds good. Oh, here's our neighbor Wanda, who popped over to learn a thing or two about how Mexican wedding cakes are.
Yeah, so she just came over for a cup of coffee and a smoke, and it was the 60s, folks, after all. So we've got our bowl here. So we're going to make our Mexican wedding cake, Ralph. And just look how easy this is. Well, first we start with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. So let's put that in there. Then we have 2 cups of just regular granulated sugar. And then we're going to put in a teaspoon of baking soda.
These vintage measuring...
You know, they kind of look vintage, and Terry was kind enough to loan me these. I came with my apron, but unfortunately that's about all I brought with me.
So how much baking soda?
1 teaspoon of baking soda. I'm going to stir these dry ingredients around just a bit. And then to this, let me use these bowls here, we're going to add 2 eggs. And of course, we always remember when we're baking, we want our eggs and anything else we're using to be at room temperature.
And those are just, oh, shell-free, please.
Yes, no shells. I'll try to keep those
Those
out.
are just regular large?
Large eggs. If you used extra large, it wouldn't hurt any, but these are large. Okay, so we're going to mix this together. And there we go. Here is start slow. We're going to, this is a wonderful cordless mixer. I've never used one before, but Terry had this, and he says, I said, I need an electric hand mixer. And he said, how about a cordless one? I'm like, let's try it. We like the old stuff, but you know what? Sometimes the new stuff is good too. So this is going to be a fairly dry mixture because, again, we had flour, sugar, a little baking soda, and the only really liquid that we put into this were the eggs.
The eggs, yeah. The only wet so far.
So, but we do, I'm going to bring it up, we do want to mix this together well, and even though it is going to be a little bit on the dry side, okay, I'm liking that.
So you want it to be kind of...
It's almost, yeah, it almost looks granular, okay? Now,
it's like a day at the beach.
What's interesting about this cake is there's no fat in this cake. We're not putting in any oil. We're not putting in any butter. The only other ingredients is a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple. And we're going to put the juice and all. The whole McGill goes in here. Okay?
Okay.
And then a cup of chopped nuts.
Okay.
Okay, you could use pecans or you could use walnuts. I tend to use walnuts. That's just a preference, but either one would be good. And we're going to fold this into our dry mixture. And remember, when we fold, you're going to use your friend the spatula, and we're going to turn the bowl a quarter turn as we pull ingredients from the bottom of the bowl.
And the sides.
Exactly right, Ralph. And it just is, folding is a way of mixing in a gentle way. So we're just going to fold this together. You want to make sure that all of your flour, sugar, egg mixture is completely
clump-free.
Yes, and completely moistened. We don't want any of the dry clumps.
It gets wet pretty quickly, so
it does.
You don't want to overbeat it.
And that, my friends, is it.
That's it. All right.
Okay, now we're going to take this 9x13 baking dish, which I have sprayed with nonstick spray, and we're going to get all of this batter. We want all of it.
Good to the last drop. In
our pan. And I think, if I didn't mention before, the wonderful Flare oven is preheated to 350 degrees. Now, this normally bakes, in Michigan, this bakes at about 40 minutes. We are at a higher altitude here in beautiful Elizabeth, Colorado. And so sometimes when you are at higher altitudes, the baking time can be off a little bit.
Like take longer?
So,
or what?
I actually can't remember if it's longer or shorter. I'm going to check it at 35 minutes though, in case it's shorter. And here we go. Okay, Ralph, can you follow me with the camera?
I sure will try.
And we're just going to put this in the oven. The nice really thing about this Flare is it goes in and you don't have to bend over. Okay, 35 minutes on the timer, and we'll give it a check. We are making a Mexican wedding cake here at the 60s house at the Rambler Ranch in Elizabeth, Colorado. All right, the cake is a bacon, Ralph, and we're going to take a closer look at the kitchen and the rest of the 60s house here at the Rambler Ranch. And I want to start with the sink. So first of all, the orange cabinets, and Terry's here with us, and so Terry, were these white originally when you found them?
Yes, I had them powder coated orange for period stuff.
Well, and I mean, there's not a more perfect color for what's going on in here. And these are, again, Kelvinator metal cabinets, which a lot of people aren't aware that they made cabinets along with appliances and many other things.
The boomerang pattern.
Yes,
so
and,
cool.
and then you found the Formica and the edge, the metal edge trim as well. Just
A company in Denver that's custom make those things for me.
really, I mean, it's just so spot on, perfectly beautiful. And of course, it's got the glass doors. Ralph, take a look at all the fun stuff Terry's got up there. Popcorn popper, a bun, that's a bun warmer. A Mickey Mouse cookie jar, and what did you tell me about
Minnie's
that?
on the other
Turn it
side.
around, it's a mini.
Minnie, okay, so there you got both of them. And then cake carriers and just all kinds of wonderful period stuff. But Ralph, this to me, in terms of this area, is the main attraction. This is an electro sink center. I had never seen one in the flesh until I came here. And I actually saw two, because Terry's got another one.
Right.
And
Tell folks what it does.
yeah, it does about everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, so Terry, this looks like a blender on this side, and then a mixer on that side. But all these knobs and buttons, so...
Yeah, this little it shows all the other things you could have: an ice cream freezer, a dough hook.
Juicer, salad maker, mixer, blender. And these were not inexpensive when they were new.
No, about $600 for this unit.
And we're talking about what year?
1963.
All right, so early 60s, $600. This was a lot of money, but the idea is that it replaced a lot of other kitchen appliances, and it was just cool as you could get.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was sold by a door-to-door salesman.
So, like a vacuum cleaner or so many other
Fuller
things,
Brush Man.
Fuller Brush Man,
They
all the Avon lady. Remember all these people that would come to our homes, Ralph? Remember?
They had to have big muscles to carry this around.
It is very heavy.
I'm sure it is, and of course it's obviously connected to an electric outlet. It looks like it's sort of also doubles or serves as a dishwasher, right? With this wand here,
Yeah.
right? Like the Dishmaster. Is this the soap?
Soap container.
Soap container goes in the back here.
So a blender on the left, and then what is this on the right?
A mixer.
Oh, yeah.
And then these, it says temperature control. So what is this all about?
When you have the water on it, because you hit the hot or cold, they light up the buttons, and then you can adjust it if you want a little cooler, a little hotter. And you can
Wow.
also adjust the flow of the water.
So it would actually heat the water, make the water hotter,
I'm
or
not sure how it
or
does
it would
that.
temper it in some way?
I think it's magic.
Yeah, it is magic.
It
You
is.
push that button that says lock,
Yes.
and pull that out. It swings out over the sink a little bit. Yeah, push the button and pull it out.
Oh, makes it a little bit more handy.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, this is, again, I've seen pictures of them, videos, but I have never seen one in real life. And like I said, there's a couple of them here at the ranch, and that is, Terry, that is just so cool.
They're also made to mount either to the sink or to the wall.
Okay. Depending on how your house was plumbed, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there it is. There's the electro sink. Then over here, Ralph, look at this beautiful. This is a Frigidaire Imperial. If you can see, Ralph, there's a little pedal down here where my
Yes.
foot is. If you press that,
I've got the wheels under that.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's elevated. Normally what would happen is it would pop the door open. So if you had your hand full of groceries
Oh.
or whatever, you
Oh.
could open the door sort of
Hands-free.
hands-free. But isn't that a beauty?
Very cool.
Just, I've always loved the style of these years of Frigidaire appliances.
No, I got these the stove and this refrigerator together at a house that some people had bought from an older woman, and they're pairs. They match.
Yeah.
The design.
Yeah, if you look on this pattern that is here on the top of the door and at the very bottom, and then we go over to the flare, Ralph, and you see the
On the
design
glass.
of the glass. It is the same. So you have to have the coordinated kitchen.
Absolutely.
And look at this cute little avocado green number over here. And
What is it?
Terry, this is another thing that I've only seen a couple of these. None as nice as this. This is a Hoover washing machine,
Yeah.
right? And does it dry or is it an extractor?
It's a dryer.
It's a dryer as well. And so if you lived in a small efficiency or something like that, this is something that you do your laundry in. I would say it doesn't take a big capacity, but you know what? It would be better than nothing.
And it's also used like the dishwashers. You roll over to your sink, it hooks to your faucet.
Got it. Okay. That's really cool. Yeah, yes, it's on casters. And then here is the dinette set. And look at this mod table, Ralph. It almost like the flower petals around on the paneled Formica.
I love it. I think we had a table like this. I always thought of them as like guitar picks.
And oh yeah, they do kind of look like guitar picks.
And then I don't know if the light picks up. I mean, if the camera picks up the light on that painting.
But yes, this is sort of a evening in Paris scene. You can see the Eiffel Tower, and these were popular with some people. It was not only a wall decoration, but like an accent. Very cool. And speaking of lights, so this is a light for a dinette, and Ralph, you'll see there on the cord, it's got sort of an egg-shaped casing there. But what it does, are we going upward? You can raise or you can lower the lamp. How cool is that?
Oh, that's so cool. And here's Wanda having, our neighbor Wanda came over for a cup of coffee, and she was returning the vacuum cleaner behind her.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you, Wanda.
she just came over and she's having a terratin there, and Pyrex and all kinds of just fun. I don't know what they called these on the wall, Terry. I don't remember the name. They were things that you would make. My dad would make these. You would buy these kits, and it came with the
little
sand and the glue and the
kind of like a mosaic.
Yes, and you put it together.
The gravel stuff it looks like something you put in a fish tank.
Yes, right. Yes, like in a tropical fish tank. But those were very popular in the 50s and 60s.
Okay.
Well, hello, Ralph. It's for you. Check out this orange rotary phone. Beautiful. Got a starburst clock there. And speaking of phones, this accessory, and this was a relatively recent find, is that right?
Well, I just recently found out it was a music box.
Oh, a music box on
Right.
top of, but it's so much more.
Yeah.
Friends, watch what this does.
So right here, you've got, this is a cigarette lighter.
Now, why would a phone have a lighter in it?
Because it also does that.
Wow.
And when it pops up, can you hear it play?
I could, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody grab a smoke. And
Again, it was the 60s. We don't do these things anymore, but
a different time.
a different time and
different aesthetic.
yes. So now we look at our phones instead of smoking. That's
the new addiction.
The new bad habit.
The new
Okay.
addiction. All right, now.
So now we're going to go into, again, I say this in every video we've done, I'm overwhelmed. But we are in the dining room, and Ralph, you're getting the chandelier, right?
It's so bright, I don't know that it's really
Yeah.
picking up the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that helps a little.
How many pieces of crystal on that?
Oh, yeah, keep going.
It's 70 pounds.
70 pounds.
Look at, oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So, food friends, this is a work of art, and it's like
Yeah.
just bejeweled bedazzled.
Yeah, it's just
Each piece of glass on the top is hand put up individual, and they had to place them in each of one.
so
Wow.
it takes hours really to put this thing
It took me
together.
about 3 hours to put
Yeah.
out all the little pieces
Yeah.
and then bend them just out to the right spot.
And then this absolutely beautiful 60s dining room set. Everything from the centerpiece, the candelabra, to these beautiful Iroquois. I love this pattern. It reminds me of autumn.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful. And then remember these glasses, Ralph? They were, I don't know if you remember, my parents had a set.
Yeah, for special company.
Yeah, or cocktails and things. The gold and just a beautiful, absolutely. This is just a stunning set. And there's the hostess, making sure everything is just right.
Hi, Phyllis.
His sister.
Yes, yeah. And then if you turn around, Ralph, here is the china cabinet that goes with the dining room set. And again, I can't remember the name of the pattern.
Georgian lilac.
Georgian lilac. These are the most beautiful dishes. And I mean, look at all the cups. You must have a service for, I don't know how many people. A lot.
Yeah, there's more in the bottom.
Yeah.
You want to open one of the drawers?
Well, yeah, go ahead. I'll let Terry do it because there's your silverware drawer, and then here's for napkins and candles and doilies, and slides open, and just look at these beautiful knobs on everything. And honestly, sadly, now when you buy new dining room furniture, it often does not have a china cabinet. You have to special order it because people just don't use china like this today. It's just something we use.
You want to say anything about this cool fan? I know you love fans.
I do love fans, and we have many fans of fans who watch Cavalcade of Food, including our friends Ray and Todd from Chicago, who are fan collectors. And this is a Vornado fan, and they were always this really beautiful
Design.
color.
Oh, color, yeah.
And always like a muted gray or a muted green. They may have come in other colors, but also this shape. And I think the idea was it sort of, I don't know if it really does it or not, but kind of creates this vortex as it pushes the air out.
Hence the name.
Yeah,
Tornado.
and Terry had it going on before, and it does move a lot of air.
It's got a 3-speed switch on the back, so it does push a lot of air.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful design. More beautiful glassware and pottery here from the period of the 60s. This is what a good looking clock this is, and it goes perfect with the dining room set.
It really does.
And that what your hand is on is one of those bars that opens up. The lid flips open on the top.
Oh, on the top,
And it's got
okay.
marble, and then you swing it out, and it's got your glasses and liquor inside.
Where your hand was is the hinge.
Yes, okay, I can see. Yeah. Also, they were very popular. People just entertained more. Then that's something that unfortunately we've gotten away from. I think because people don't. My rationale is people don't want to clean their house to have company over. But all of our parents, you had people over all the time, family, friends. Sometimes it was formal, sometimes it was casual, but you went over people's homes all the time. Let's come back here, Ralph, and we can take a quick look. We've got a bathroom with a shower stall, modern shower stall, but look at the yellow sink and potty. How great is that?
And I remember Terry was saying that it was just a little too short for
a bathtub?
period bathtub, so they installed the shower because this is all functional, ladies and gentlemen.
Here is a bedroom back here. We are walking on very padded purple shag carpet. So, I mean, hello. Do you have a shag rake?
I do.
Yes, of course. And here is another gal getting ready for a night on the town, I'm sure. And she's got her hair dryer and she's in front of her vanity. And look at this bedspread, Ralph. Look at this peacock bedspread and how
Chenille?
great this is.
Is this what they call chenille?
Chenille, yeah.
And who's
We
passed
could
out
put
over here?
we could put a captain's hat up here, and we could be captain in chenille.
There we go. Put a captain on this stiff.
Well, you can see it's a peacock theme because Terry at one time had a family of peacocks on the property.
Oh, wonderful.
And so this is sort of in honor of them. And I love, there's also, Terry has just worked in a lot of wonderful personal effects into a lot of the rooms too, which gives it so much charm and meaning because of the connections to him and his family. Here's another small bathroom, again with, I guess, kind of pink coral color. And for a lot of our food friends, these kind of fixtures are things that they're going to find very familiar.
Yeah, medicine cabinet with a razor slot.
With where you put the spent razor blades. Okay, let's go into the living room now.
Okay, there's the beaded curtain into the living room. Some folks are already there. Oh, hi guys.
Come on through the beads. Hi, Ralph. Terry and I are hanging out in the living room.
Another shag carpet.
Another totally terrific shag carpet.
It is. It looks like rice-a-roni.
This is just another wonderful space here.
Created by Mr. Terry Gale and company.
Yeah, I mean, look at the curtains in here. Orange and beautiful, and those are really vintage, right,
They
Terry?
were original 1963 curtains.
And just the colors, they just are, like heightened. It's like taking a photo, bringing it to life, or taking a time and just bringing it to life with an even more heightened sense of reality.
Check out this lamp and the grapes. I just remember seeing those in so many homes when I was a kid.
Yeah, that was another
those
thing
glass
some
grapes.
people could make with kits, I believe.
Yeah, my aunt made these.
Did she? Here's a set. Oh, and look, it's Andy and Opie on the TV.
Yeah. So your aunt made this set.
And let's just look at the TV set. This is a Zenith. It is a television. It is a hi-fi with a stereo. There's a phonograph on the other side there, Terry?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this was a total home entertainment system. And I love that it's still working.
It's 1961.
1961, a great year.
Yes.
And it's great. And there's Andy, and that was such a fun show. And of course, Ralph, remember everyone had the bunny ears to get the TV stations in. And I mean, the light fixtures in here. Was there a name for these massage chairs, or I remember seeing them often. Sometimes this is in beautiful shape. I remember a friend of mine had one in their basement. It was kind of covered in like a naga hide or something, and we always got kind of a thrill out of sitting on it, and it would vibrate and massage you.
Yeah, it reclines back to almost like zero gravity chairs.
And that, again, at a time when, now people know what zero gravity is, but back then it was just a massage chair. Ralph, come in here. Here's another bedroom. And this one has got this terrific blonde furniture, which is what my parents had. And Terry, what... these boxes, and you have one in the dining room as well, that with the little niches and the mirrors. Those were very popular, weren't they?
Yeah, there are three of them in here.
I see one over the jukebox. And again, look at the little Philco portable TV, Ralph.
Was this a kid's room? A kid who smoked? Perhaps.
Wally and Beaver.
Well,
Yeah, Wally and Beaver. It's got their twin
Oh.
beds. Look, the Monopoly board, the Parcheesi board.
the lava lamp.
Lava
oh,
lamp.
Even some old comic books.
I know. Clock radio.
Little phonograph. And what are those, like spring shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah, spring shoes. Yeah, they'd strap onto your feet and you could be bouncing all over the place.
I love those two lamps on each table.
I know.
And then,
Yeah, those great shades.
oh, here's another lava lamp. Cool. Look at that watch clock thing on the wall. And Kevin mentioned the jukebox, and there it is. From this angle, you can really see it.
Again, the year on this one, Terry?
1957.
1957. This is a Seaberg.
Seaberg VL200.
And
Plays 200 songs.
200 songs. It's in perfect working order, and it has different sections. Right now it's set to hot tunes, and you would pick a selection there. If you wanted to see rhythm and blues, it would rotate the rhythm and blues selections, or folk and western, and so on right down the line. It's just an incredible, beautiful jukebox.
And I
And
believe-
just look at the style, Ralph.
I know. And Terry, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you said you got this for quite a low price and then had it restored to make it functional, right?
Yeah, I got an estate sale for $800, and I had a gentleman works, and he's fixed it for me, and it sounds beautiful.
It
Yeah,
does. Yeah,
it
we heard
does.
it the other day.
Yeah. And he even has the auxiliary speaker. So sometimes in bars, you'd have a jukebox on one end of the bar, and they'd put a speaker on the other end of the bar. So,
Get the full.
well, so that you could hear. It wasn't necessarily stereo, but it was a way to make sure the
Extend the
sound
sound, yeah.
carried through the whole place. And again, there's another, with a built-in clock, no less, another little display niche. I don't know what they called those, if they had a name for them.
I love the color
Remember
scheme.
for the jukebox at restaurants, they have the little thing on the table.
Yes,
It's like
that you
something-
can make your
I have
selections
one
from
of
the
those.
booth. Do you really? Yeah. And of course, Terry got the fireplace going for us, even though it's summertime, but still cozy to fire up the fireplace. And ambiance. And a lot of people had those fireplaces.
Can you say anything about this cool table?
That's actually a little more modern. It looks like something from the Jetsons.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
probably
kind
close to 30 years old, I guess.
Okay, but it's kind of it is very stylized, almost a boomerang shape. And Ralph, do you remember these telephone tables?
Yes.
So these were, and this one's got a lamp built into it, so this was really deluxe. But you had this rack down here is where you'd put your phone book.
Your big phone book,
Yellow
yeah.
pages or
Mhm.
white pages, and then you'd sit here and gab on the phone, because hard to believe now, but most houses had one phone. Maybe you had two phones at the most, but
Party line.
and a party line. I forgot about
Look
that.
at that cool clock.
How cool is this?
Incredible.
This is cool. And then we come into another
The
fireplace.
front room.
And more of these incredible curtains. And here's a beautiful Grundig hi-fi made in Germany, if I'm
Shortwave.
shortwave radio. Beautiful. And as a matter of fact, Ralph, over here behind the chair is an auxiliary speaker for it.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yep.
Another beautiful china cabinet.
And
Beautiful curtains.
Ralph, if you are able to zoom into the corner, Terry has a working oil lamp. And Food Friends, let us know if you remember these, where it's actually little beads of oil that go down a wire. And then there must be a circulation pump or something that takes it back up to the top.
Yeah, it's got a little reservoir in the bottom and the pump, and it pumps it up and recirculates it.
And when I was a kid, I saw one hanging from the ceiling on like a swag, and I just thought that was the classiest thing I ever saw.
I have the matching one for that. That's a
Do you? and the curved sofa.
That was custom built for a home from 1960.
Really beautiful. And the I don't remember there's a name for this table.
Japanese name.
Yeah, it is.
Very
It was
famous.
the designer. Very famous indeed. Yeah.
They're very expensive.
And beautiful. I have always loved the triangular shape of it. And then you've got this mod centerpiece, and I guess we're out of walnuts here for the nut bowl, but we got everything else.
Yep.
So, just again, this is another building within the series of buildings on the Rambler Ranch campus. And Terry, we can't thank you enough for just sharing it all with us. This is just so great and so much fun, and that's the timer for the cake, folks.
Oh, perfect.
So anyways,
This worked out good.
I want to just thank you for inviting us and giving us the tour and letting us share some of the wonderful parts of this place with all the Cavalcade food friends.
Absolutely thrilled to do it.
Well, thank you. Okay, I'm going to get in the kitchen and check on that cake, and we'll come on back. So, Ralph, I'm going to take it out. It's been about 42, 44 minutes.
Oh, did you ever want to tell people about what we found out about altitude?
High altitude baking, about increasing the temperature.
Although we didn't, because Terry, who lives here, says he never bothered with those high altitude recommendations and never had a problem.
Yeah. So this is good, and I can tell it just springs back nicely to the touch. We're going to let this cool completely, and then we will come back and frost it. And you can't really frost this cake until it has really cooled down to room temperature, because the frosting we're going to make for it, Ralph, includes butter and cream cheese.
All right.
And it's just the perfect topping for this. So we'll let the cake cool, and then we'll come back and put the topper on it. So, Ralph, we have come to the part where we're frosting the cake. So, the cake was a simple recipe, and you know what? The frosting is just as simple.
Oh, good.
I got 1 stick of butter in here.
Okay.
So,
Either?
I generally, when making a frosting, I use unsalted butter, but you wouldn't go to jail if you use salted butter. How's that?
Okay, no butter jail.
Yes. Then I've got an 8-ounce cream cheese here.
Softened.
So it's been out for a while. Not all day, but it's been out for a while, kind of softening up. Now, I'm going to actually use that for my little spoon rest. Then I'm going to put in a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm eyeballing that. Then what I'm going to do is let's mix these things together. And this is, of course, why you want everything softened up. Okay, let's stop. Just picking up the tripod is, let's just take it up this way, and then there we go, and then tilt it down. Okay. We still rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you really want to cream up that butter and that cream cheese. Okay. So that's done. Now, I've got 2 cups of powdered sugar. Some people call it confectioner's sugar. Some people call it 10X sugar.
Oh,
So,
never heard that.
potato, whatever you call it.
is it easy to find in the stores?
Powdered sugar, yes, it sure is. And it's just right where the sugar is sold.
But it's in a box.
Sometimes it's in a box. It's usually in a bag.
Oh, okay.
Like a 2 or 3 pound bag. So it just depends. But I'm starting slow here because, of course, powdered sugar is like flour, and it will go every which way. So let's get that creamed in, and then we're going to scrape the sides down. But this is a good overall frosting for a lot of things.
Multi-purpose.
Yes, you can. And
Multi-purpose.
you can flavor it differently if you like, even other than vanilla.
But you'd say this is a basic cream cheese frosting.
Basic cream cheese frosting. There we are.
All right, give me
Okay.
a spoon and I'll just happy.
So what I'm going to do now is let me bring the cake over and we'll get it frosted up. Still a little warm, the cake, but I didn't want to wait any longer.
Not too warm to put the frosting on, though.
But warmer than I would normally do.
Oh, okay.
Probably. Tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
Are we rolling? Okay. All right, Ralph, so we're going to frost the cake now. So I'm going to get out our wonderful cream cheese frosting here. Oh, this has been so much fun working here at the ranch and just being among not just the cars and the appliances and things like that. And of course, you know, Ralph, you and I are both born and raised in Detroit, and certainly car culture is nothing new to us. And I mean, both of our fathers worked in the auto industry, right?
Right.
So, you know, we're no stranger to that. But the wonderful hospitality, the ranch, again, this is something to see. And as I said, I think, Ralph, in one of the when I was in one of the car buildings that was just filled with cars, but so many other things, that this ranch, why it is a celebration of automobiles, particularly Nash and American Motors. It's also a celebration of American culture of the 20th century, wouldn't you say?
Oh, certainly. It's a little bit of everything, even though the focus is on one particular brand, but there's so much within that, and then all the attention to detail that our host, Terry Gale, has put into every single display.
Oh, it's
and
mind-boggling.
We're just glad that people can come in, you know, if you're in the area ever and you want to see it, he is open to the public and you can join a tour and see it all, because the photos and the videos don't really do it justice, as great as they are.
Yeah.
And as Kevin was saying, just being with people who appreciate this, who love to take a step back in time, just like most of our viewers do, makes it all the better.
And I'll put their website in the description below, ramblerranch.com, and you can get more information about when they're open, and also see a lot of their videos, which are on YouTube, and even take a 3D virtual tour of some of the buildings. So that'll all be in the description, along with the recipe for the cake, by the way.
Right.
So here's the cake. We're having it for dessert tonight.
Next time you see us, we'll be eating it.
So, all right, we'll see you later when we're enjoying our Mexican wedding cake. Well, Ralph, we said we wanted to share with our friends the finished product, and here it is. So, isn't that beautiful?
It is, and it is delicious.
And so, you know, again, you've got a nice mix of textures with the pineapple and the chopped walnuts.
And then again, you know, a frosting of cream cheese and butter. So
Can't go wrong with that.
and you really taste everything. Taste the pineapple, taste the walnut, and yeah, the frosting really puts it over the top.
I know I had some before, but I'll have another little bite.
Okay. You want me to put it on the fork for you?
I don't
course.
have 3 hands.
I guess you don't.
All right, so I just want folks to know that Ralph
Right.
gets a taste too.
Ralph has not been neglected.
No, I haven't.
And it's good. Great with a cup of coffee.
It is.
Enjoying this in my Rambler Ranch coffee mug.
Oh, okay. Well, you can see why Kevin's mom was requested to make and bring this cake to many gatherings, because it is so delicious, and it's a hit because, like Kevin said, you can taste everything, but blended together, there's something magical that happens between the ingredients. But the walnuts and the pineapple does something special. The cream cheese frosting on top of the delicious cake.
Really good. And you saw how easy it was to make. I mean,
Yeah, very easy.
really with ingredients that, you might even have on hand. So
you can see that this would be a fun cake to make and take, and some cakes are labor of love and a lot of work, and this one is not, and yet it would be probably your most requested cake if you were to make it.
So, anyways, we want to say thank you to Ralph for working the camera today.
My pleasure.
And yesterday. And again, having a blast here at the Rambler Ranch in Elizabeth, Colorado. It was extra fun baking this cake in that beautiful flare range. Wasn't that cool, Ralph?
Yeah, that was like a step back in time.
And we want to thank our food friends for watching. The website, Ralph, is
cavalcadeoffood.com.
And in the description below will be the recipe for the cake. I'm also going to put a link in to the Rambler Ranch for those of you who want some more information about this incredible museum and collection out here in Elizabeth, Colorado. Until then, summer's winding down, if you can believe it. It flew by, but we wish you the best. We hope you are well, and we will see you again real soon back here on Cavalcade of Food. Bye, everybody.
Bye, food friends. See you next time.